Maybe
Okay. It's the Wendy Williams Experience. Shout out to all the parents. Can you please watch your kids? I mean, it was just like last week or the week before in New York, we were dealing with a boy who left his, I believe it was his Bronx home, while his dad went to sleep. His mom left the father to watch the little boy, which, it's not funny. I was just chuckling because oftentimes these are the things that men do. Fall asleep watching the kids. Give them corn dogs and candy for dinner. Big bottle of grape soda. Mommy's not there to regulate. But, here in Philadelphia, I'm broadcasting live from here today. Shout out to all my people listening to Power 99. In Norristown here in Pennsylvania, a little boy left his house and crossed over 2 lanes of traffic on Main Street. I mean, thank God nothing happened to the little boy. He did not know his address. He did not know his telephone number. He's 4. And it's real important that kids know stuff like that, FYI. But the most shocking thing, I guess, is that the boy didn't even seem excited to see his own mother, when returned home. Nor did she seem excited that he was back. Just kind of like, oh, it's you again. You know what I mean? So, just because your child comes from your loins doesn't make you a mother. And just because you can have a baby doesn't qualify you to be a mother. I was seeing that Halle Berry's going to be talking extra about how she would like to have a child. She turns 39 this year, and she says, here's her quote, "What I want to do in the next decade. Well, I'd love to have a baby. I'd love to be a mom. If I don't have one, I want to adopt one. I really need that in my life. So hopefully in the next decade, I can dedicate to that." She also says, in terms of artificial insemination, she says, I would. I know many people who've done it successfully. I respect their choice to say, I don't have to have someone in my life, but I still want to experience motherhood. There are also a lot of babies out there that need mothers, so I'll work it out. Somehow I plan on making it happen. She doesn't say anything about Eric Benet's daughter in here, like if she was already a mother. See, I'm still confused about that. I insist that adoption never went through. Many of you all say, because I've questioned, why should we spend so much time with this girl? It's over. The father, it's all mixed messages and all like that. But let's move on. By the way, shout out to a Brooklyn listener who says yesterday, she says, Wendy, I thank you for suggesting alone time for Mother's Day. I have a 4-year-old daughter who I love to pieces, but all last week she was really working my nerves. I'm sure you could relate being that you have a 4-year-old. I couldn't decide what I wanted for Mother's Day, and when I heard you mention alone time, I was like, oh, heaven sent. I got breakfast in bed, a newspaper, the remote. I was luxuriating. Although my husband took the kids for a few hours, it was heaven after a stressful week. Yada, yada, yada. She says, thanks for the suggestion, and you better believe I'll be requesting that time for next year. Exactly. You never have to ask me what I want. Not for anything. Birthday, Christmas, as long as somewhere in there it's house to myself. Empty. I want peace and quiet. I see in today's newspaper that Dame Dash and Jay-Z, they're keeping up appearances. Dame apparently celebrated his 34th birthday, and Jay-Z showed up to the birthday party over the weekend. Okay, that's saving face, boy, I'll tell you. Do you like Jennifer Lopez's new haircut? Can I just tell you something? Her nose looks huge. Like, they were going for the Bonnie in Bonnie and Clyde. And her hair looks really thin and like mousy. And maybe that's just me because I love really thick hair. But it just looks like she needs about 5 tracks to finish it off in the roots. Like it really looks thin and mousy. And I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe it hasn't been out there enough for you guys to see. It just looks really stringy and thin and mousy, and it just makes her nose look In the meantime, she was drawing a lot of stares last weekend. She arrived at this church in Beverly Hills called the Good Shepherd Church in Beverly Hills, and she arrived in very low rider jeans. Well, what is the big deal? Now, hold on a second. They didn't say booty crack was exposed. If she had a long enough T-shirt on, a tunic, say, and the bottom of it was zhuzhed into the jeans, you know what? That is along with the hypocrisy that a lot of churches possess, that's one of my big things about church is that the dress code. Do you know what I'm saying? But I've got issues in general. I believe in the higher being. I just have issues in the organization of the whole, but that's another time. Let me talk about Demi Moore for a brief moment. Can I just say that Demi Moore is now saying that she's not pregnant, and all of this hubbub is really about them getting married, but that's just a rumor too. Here is what an art, I talk about this all the time with these celebrities. There's always one big mouth celebrity family member. Yeah. In Eminem's case, it was his uncle who passed away recently. Well, now here is Ashton's big mouth grandmother, Adeline Kutcher. And here's what Adeline is saying. Ashton and Demi are not engaged, and Demi is not pregnant. These stories are pure gossip. Go figure. I guess they needed attention on their relationship again. Jeez Louise. How about that Paula Abdul swallowing? Oh. Oh, boy. Guess what I drove to Philly today, Arthur?
What's that?
That's right.
Oh,
no. Got my aviator. Blazed it on down the turnpike. Got me a car wash, a little rub-a-dub-dub.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting ready.
I hear you.
Car show.
Yes.
What is that, June 25th and 26th? In Atlantic City. Shout out to the bomb dropper.
That's right.
I will be in the place to be. I'm getting some special rims and the whole bit. Running board.
A running board?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the car doesn't have a running board. I didn't want the full package. I just wanted the basic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But are you driving your car? Do you take it out on the weekends when it's nice? Art got one of those Lexuses with the convertible. What is it called again?
SC430.
Yeah. Philly, your boy has grown up. Look at Arthur pressing his own claps. Did you drive it to Philly this weekend and take your mom to Mother's Day?
No, I didn't drive it this weekend. It was already in Philly.
Oh, you keep it here.
I keep it there, and because of the opposite side of the street parking, I get tickets too much here.
Oh, over the side of the street in New York.
Right.
So, does your mother have keys to it? Can she move it?
No. She has her own.
Is it in a garage?
Yes.
And so you bring it out down here and you drive it around?
Yes, I do, yes.
Are you going to be at the car show?
I'm thinking about going because I want to see what everybody else is doing. I want to see your aviator, how you hook that up too.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Somewhere in there's an FU, but I'm going to fall back.
Oh, man, there you go.
No, I'm not bringing it inside. It's just for the turnpike. I'm going to be turnpike pimping.
Okay, that's hot.
On the ride down, as you pull up to tolls and stuff, and you be seeing people that they're on their way down to Atlantic City to the car show too, and they be beeping. That's hot. And then they hit the accelerator and pull off past you.
For sure.
And then you got to fall back.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, I'm just getting it, done up for turnpike pimping. When I get there, I'm not, wheeling it inside.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
Although maybe Bomb Drop will take some last minute entries and he'll raise the,
I'm sure he got a spot for you in there somewhere.
Okay, AJ McLean. Who is that? Is this worth even telling?
Oh, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, you didn't answer fast enough. Backstreet Boys. Of course, this is worth telling, simply because he just signed as a solo act on Curb Records. Well, he got married on Saturday, and as a gift to his beautiful bride, a Bayesian girl named Tamietta Freeze. Now, if this is Bayesian, is this Bayesian like I'm Bayesian? I would imagine this would be the same kind of Bayesian. It throws me off because I didn't know that he enjoyed black, but okay. Anyway, they had a private ceremony in Orlando, Florida, and AJ flew in this guy named David Pack of the group Ambrosia from the 70s. Remember that song? You're the biggest part of me. You're my inspiration. Don't you remember that? All right. Well, anyway, He was invited to sing at the wedding. Unfortunately, his plane had to land in Shreveport, Louisiana, because there was bad weather. Hey, Shreveport, what's going on? The Experience is in Shreveport, too, all right? So at the last minute, AJ had to scramble to figure out who's going to sing this song, because this is his wife's, favorite song, and it was a surprise. So Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys said, I know all the words to the song. I'll sing it. Well, he was slurring the words and struggling through the verses and teetering back and forth and hiccuping and was visibly out of his mind with the open bar. So it ended up that Brian Luttrell stood up and sang it. And by the way, when Nick left the reception, the one that was wobbling and drunk, he was seen vomiting in his parked car. Yeah, well, it happens. All right, there's so many other things that I wanted to share with you. Spike TV has ordered a pilot based on the movie Blade. No word on whether Wesley Snipes will be in it, but according to the tax man, he does need the money. So maybe this is a new job for Spike Lee. I have no idea. I mean, not Spike Lee, Wesley Snipes. I don't watch the Spike TV like that. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. Shout out to Feds Magazine. I love you all. I did an interview with them as I was driving down here today. And they're good people. Shout out to everybody on lockdown. People in jail love Feds. People in the streets love Feds. Hell, people in the offices love Feds but are refusing to admit it. Dear Wendy, Puffy is so full of crap. He knew that there was no ban in the beginning. He just wanted to extend the show. Out of all three of the chicks that he picked, the one white girl, Aubrey, to me, is the only one that had any star quality. She really put it down on the open mic. And that girl, Malika, looks like an old wrinkled drag queen. Those extensions are horrible. 4 months, and he still has no ban. What a ripoff. Why are they talking about Kelly Ripa possibly going to the Today Show? I think they need to fall back with that one. I love Kelly Ripa and everything like that. But not only don't I want to see her as serious as Katie Couric and Matt Lauer, but why would she want to give up a job where she can have fun and laugh and giggle and everything? They're saying the Today Show is going through some troubles, and Matt Lauer's talking about leaving. And Katie Couric isn't the answer. And now with Matt Lauer's wife in his pockets, that divorce is about to go down. I mean, there's nothing really more that I can say about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, except they are scandalous. And you know what? It's not so bad that Jennifer Aniston and Brad aren't together anymore. It's the way in which this is going down. Did you all hear about Angelina and Brad's wild safari in the hotel? Did I tell this on Friday, Art? They were in the hotel having sex so loud, security from the hotel had to be called. Damn. It was like tribal screaming and yelling. It was like Brad was beating the crap out of her. She's screaming and moaning and carrying on, and it's going on and on. And they're banging on the door. Finally, they stop. Brad goes to the door and calls through the other side, talking about, everything's okay, everything's okay. And now they're talking about having a baby together and the whole bit. Wow. I mean, we can talk about it. You could always fax me about it. I'm here. It's the Experience.
It's Wendy, man.
I just passed the NYPD exam. Prior to this, I got a manslaughter case. I stabbed my mom's boyfriend because he beat her up. Okay. I'd like to know if I should just tell them up front that I did that.
You're going to sound crazy.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Yes. The Wendy Williams Experience is on the radio. Who wants another celebrity-driven place to eat? Okay, well, get ready, because Jackie Robinson's company, the late, great Hall of Fame athlete Jackie Robinson, his company, he did pass. Yes, of course. Yes, because I was a part of the Jackie Robinson auction, of which the person who won a chance to be on the Experience is never. Whatever happened with that? Well, we're here every day. Needless to say, I thought we set up a date. As a matter of fact, this is my first time thinking about it. I thought we set up a date like 2 months ago. He's supposed to come on, the dude. Anyway, listen. Jackie Robinson's company, RLW, is set to open up 30 hip-hop soda shops in Las Vegas and metro areas, and this is going to be happening over the next 3 years. One of the first ones will be in Vegas, though. Hip-hop soda shops are community-conscious fast food establishment offering healthy food combined with the best hip-hop music, memorabilia, and merchandise. Only thing is the name, hip-hop soda shop. Nah, that doesn't work. And a lot of these places are closing up. I mean, the Planet Hollywoods and joints like that. Hard Rock these places are having a hard time, but maybe it'll work. I mean, I love the entire concept, especially the fact that my company, Jackie Robinson, is alive, everybody. The baseball legend. And because this is him giving a quote, unless he's giving it from beyond. Says, I love the entire concept, especially the fact that my company, RLW, is committed to using the enormous wealth being generated by hip-hop to create better jobs, educational opportunities for the entire black community. It's obvious to me why Bank America and Visa have signed to sponsor the hip-hop soda shops, which we could look at as the black Starbucks. Okay. We'll have to see how this develops because, Carney Wilson, by the way, delivered. And she didn't gain a whole bunch of weight. I mean, considering she's a former fatty and being pregnant, sometimes women feel is a license to eat every and anything, but she really held on to her weight. They didn't say how much she gained, but her daughter is beautiful, they say. Her name is Lola Sophia. She was born on April 22nd. 7 pounds, 2 ounces, and absolutely perfect. Mother, 37, and father, Rob, are doing fine. He's 37 also. They're elated at having a healthy baby. Blue hair, or blue eyes and brown hair, and all right, blah, blah, blah. How much did she gain? Isn't that what we all want to know, or is that just me? I've seen pictures of her, though, right up until almost the delivery date. She didn't look like she was half the size as she was before the gastric bypass. Bruce Willis and Mos Def are teaming up to do a movie together. It's called 16 Blocks. Something about a cop. Bruce Willis is in it. Something about a cop and wisecracking, young, witty. Yeah, that's where Mos Def is. And 16 city blocks away and an action-packed thriller. And just wanted to put you on to that. Okay, good. What? It's like, whoa. Turn it up. Shout out to MOP. It's like, whoa. Frank Sinatra's being accused of being a rapist. And I know he passed away, and oftentimes stories like this don't come out until after somebody's passed. But if we're going to be talking about DMX and RZA and all like that, let's take it back to the old school. Let's take it back to Union Square. There's a woman, and this was actually in Friday's newspaper. I forgot to mention this to you all, but turn this up. Yeah. Fire! It's like, whoa. Shout out to Fame, and shout out to Dance, shout out to Fox, shout out to Lays, the whole MOP. What's up, Brownsville? There's this woman, her name is Susan Murphy. And she's 56, and she's talking about a horrifying night that she had with Frank Sinatra back in 1969. Are you ready for this, Art? Art, I'm watching you on the webcam. Running down the hall, struggling for the door. Well, apparently, on the laugh button, but not saying a word. Hey, Hollywood. I see you on the webcam. All right, apparently there was a book written by somebody other than this woman. It's called Sinatra the Life. And it's saying that this woman, Susan Murphy, was on a date with another man in Palm Springs at a restaurant back in the day, 1969, when Frank Sinatra, who was 53 at the time, sent someone over to her table to, to talk to her. Because I guess that's what guys like Frank Sinatra feel that they can do, like poach other men's women, Go over there and tell that, shorty, hey, You know, me and her, whatever, however it went down. Anyway, so the woman, Susan Murphy, found the come on quite rude, she says, but didn't stop her and her date from agreeing to go to a party at his house. Well, they went to the party, and then the date left the party, and she was left at Frank Sinatra's house. The date had gone home. Frank and the entourage were there, and they apparently ended up getting on a private plane to go to Vegas. After some gambling, the group ended up around 2 o'clock in the morning back at Frank's Palm Springs house, where Frank invited this woman, Susan Murphy, to see one of his bungalows. Well, this is what her quote is. He threw me on the bed, and I said, God, no. He just pulled up my dress, pulled down my panties, and did what he wanted to do. I knew I couldn't overpower him. Well, she's now married. She says she cried afterward and she felt half dead. And she wanted to go to the police, but she said me against Frank Sinatra. So she ended up keeping her mouth shut. But, you know, these things have been going on since forever. It's called date rape. It really does happen. In the book, it also talks about Frank being upset after he did one of these, you know, chicken head invites back to the compound. The girl didn't want to go along with his sexual advances, so he threw her through a glass window. So, you know, well, it happens. It sounds crazy, according to Frank Sinatra Enterprise spokesperson. Goes on to say, Frank Sinatra honored all women all the time. Please. You know what I mean? And good. Madonna takes godparenting seriously. Good. She told Britney Spears, I'm not going to be the godmother. You know, I no. Wow. What is so wow, world? What is so wow? People think that this godparenting thing is like such a, you know, Britney knows Madonna through a lesbian lip lock. Britney knows Madonna because while Madonna is a Kabbalist and genuinely tried to get Britney involved, Britney wore the red string. She was as much of a Kabbalist as I was. Remember when I went out to the fabric store and got everybody in the studio a piece of yarn and we were cool and we wore our Kabbalah thread for a week? That's all Britney thought of with it also, I'll bet. Madonna made up some excuse about how her schedule is busy. We all know what it is, Madonna. You don't feel Britney like that. You don't want to be obligated to her and her man's baby. I hear that. Keep it here. I'm on a roll.
It's Wendy, man.
So, Whitney, is there drug use at this present time?
Who are you talking to?
To you, Whitney. You.
No, you're not talking to me. I'm a mother. Only my mother has privy to that information. You talk to your child about that. Don't ask me no questions like I'm a child. Don't ask me like I'm a child because I'm not a child, Wendy.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
I can do a local. 107.5 WBLS, today's R&B and classic soul in the Wendy Williams Experience. Vaughnie comes up at 7 o'clock with The Quiet Storm. And this is big. Don't forget today, during the bonus hour, I'm going to replay the Toni Braxton interview in its entirety. I've been getting a lot of requests for it, so I'm going to let you have it. Beyonce's been having some security issues recently. You know, apparently when she was over in Germany, there was some crazy man or another stalking her. She had to beef up security. Well, I was reading that her condo in Houston recently got burglarized and they stole like $150,000 worth of jewelry. Oh, how violated. Probably a bunch of panties, shoes, bras. I mean, why stop at the jewels? It was probably an obsessive, disgusting pig man stalker or something like that. Just, Anyway, everybody, let me talk with you about Verizon Wireless. Well, can I tell you, I love my new VCast phone. I was taking little movies yesterday for Mother's Day. We went to the restaurant and, you know, I'm carrying on with the phone. And then while we're waiting for our food to come, instead of my son continually putting chopsticks up his nose and me threatening to take him in the back and wear his little behind out, I'm like, duh, why didn't I think about this? Because I forgot to bring his PlayStation 2. I pull out my telephone and he starts playing my phone games. And it was the best thing. Then he was calm, then the food came, and everything was normal. All kind of features are on the VCast phone from Verizon, including interviews, stand-up comedy from Comedy Central, entertainment news. You know I love the entertainment news. My channel VH1, sports coverage from ESPN and Fox Sports, the latest breaking weather updates. Gorgeous for the rest of the week, I understand, according to my phone. Oh, yes. Find out about the VCast phone, and you can get it free for 2 months with the VCast V-Pack. The $15 monthly access is then added to your Verizon wireless bill, and it's all good. Listen, I'll be here talking to you all day if I talk about this, but this is what you do. You go to Circuit City or you stop by Verizon. 107.5 WBLS, today's R&B and classic soul in the Wendy Williams Experience. Vaughnie comes up at 7 o'clock with The Quiet Storm, and this is big. Don't forget today, during the bonus hour, I'm going to replay the Toni Braxton interview in its entirety. I've been getting a lot of requests for it, so I'm going to let you have it. Beyonce's been having some security issues recently. You know, apparently when she was over in Germany, there was some crazy man or another stalking her. She had to beef up security. Well, I was reading that her condo in Houston recently got burglarized, and they stole like $150,000 worth of jewelry. Oh, how violated. Probably a bunch of panties, shoes, bras. I mean, why stop at the jewels? It was probably an obsessive, disgusting pig man stalker or something like that. Just, Anyway, everybody, let me talk with you about Verizon Wireless. Well, can I tell you, I love my new VCast phone. I was taking little movies yesterday for Mother's Day. We went to the restaurant and, you know, I'm carrying on with the phone. And then while we're waiting for our food to come, instead of my son continually putting chopsticks up his nose and me threatening to take him in the back and wear his little behind out, I'm like, duh, why didn't I think about this? Because I forgot to bring his PlayStation 2. I pull out my telephone and he starts playing my phone games. And it was the best thing. Then he was calm, then the food came, and everything was normal. All kind of features are on the VCast phone from Verizon, including interviews, stand-up comedy from Comedy Central, entertainment news. You know I love the entertainment news. My channel VH1, sports coverage from ESPN and Fox Sports, the latest breaking weather updates. Gorgeous for the rest of the week, I understand, according to my phone. Oh, yes. Find out about the VCast phone, and you can get it free for 2 months with the VCast V-Pack. The $15 monthly access is then added to your Verizon wireless bill, and it's all good. Listen, I'll be here talking to you all day if I talk about this, but this is what you do. You go to Circuit City or you stop by Verizon Wireless Communications Store and find out all about the VCast phone, the one with the picture phone and the 15-second movie, and you can play games on it, all kind of stuff. It's the Verizon VCast phone, okay? Now, let me do this disclaimer. It's subject to customer agreement, calling plan, and get it now agreements, subscription to VCast VPAC, and VCast phone required. The VCast coverage area is available in 30 markets and covers 75 million people. I love you, Verizon Wireless. So, you guys, what we're going to do is continue on with the show. A couple of classics, a couple of today's R&Bs, a little more gossip, and before you know it, it'll be time for the bonus hour. So everybody, keep it where you got it, because the bonus hour, starring Toni Braxton, is coming up on the Wendy Williams Experience right here on 107.5 WBLS. All right. Damn! You could never believe what I was doing, right? I am literally sitting here in front of my microphone, but I had my headphones plugged into a different jack, and Doc B's in the other room, and he was playing Nas and A. Marie and Man Up. You's a grown-ass man, dog. You can't even stand on your own 2 feet. And I'm sitting here doing the chicken head booty dance, snapping my neck and pooching my lips in my chair. I'm sorry. I am sorry. You know what? It's just such a beautiful day. Welcome, everybody, if you're just turning on the Wendy Williams Experience. I love you, Doc B. I love you, Cosmic Strict Skills. I love you, Thea Mitchum. She's my crime boss lady in Philadelphia. And shout out to all you all today for listening to the Experience. Foxy Brown, I don't know what you're trying to prove by thinking that you's bigger than the law. But, honey, this is not the time to play with the law. If you aren't guilty, you need to work this out before you go to trial, because you're looking real crazy. Excuse me. You're looking much crazier now. I just can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out. First of all, you know, I love Foxy, I love Kim together, but as long as you're going to give me a comparison, I'm looking at you in your court clothes in the newspaper, and I'm thinking about what little Kim looked like in her court clothes. And while Kim from the neck up is looking type crazy with the lips and all like that, Foxy, I got to say, Kim was wearing her court clothes better. And I don't know what you're doing. What are you trying to go to court so that your court date lands around your album? Sometimes things like that work and sometimes they don't. I wouldn't put the gamble on it. You understand what I'm saying? I would not put the gamble on it. It's in the newspaper today. Hip-hop diva Foxy Brown made a jaw-dropping entrance and a soulful exit. And in between, she managed to turn down the no-jail plea deal on charges, that nail salon thing. The glammed-up rapper pulled up in Manhattan criminal court yesterday in a shiny silver Bentley and emerged in a black and white Chanel dress belted with faux pearls, Chanel sunglasses, Chanel high heel pumps, a black leather Chanel handbag, and what else? Chanel perfume. Sounds black. Real black. This sounds ghetto as mess. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the judge, don't no judge want to hear about all that. Especially when you're not paying your taxes. Especially when, it's on the records that you owe taxes, but you got your... This is not hate. This is just me, just observing the situation. Manhattan prosecutors told Judge Melissa Jackson they offered the 25-year-old rapper a deal to stay out of jail with a plea. Wait, what is this? Stay out of jail if she pled guilty to a misdemeanor assault, punching and kicking a manicurist, Moy Concagne, at the Bloomy Nails in Chelsea in August. Now, I understand Foxy said she didn't do it, and I don't know that much about the law, thank God. Maybe somebody who's more familiar with the law. Look, get at me. I'm in Philly today. 215-483-4986. I'm going to continue with this. Hold on now. Hollywood, did you read this while you were on the train? No. After she exchanged long whispers with her defense attorney, Brown declined the deal. It might be a sweetheart deal if you are guilty, but she's not, is what her attorney says. I'm confident in the criminal justice system. I'm confident I will be exonerated, is what she said. If you ain't catch me with the Nina... Oh, no, if you ain't catch me with the Nina, I ain't guilty. That's why I hired Tucapina. Oh, no. No, she's not making lyrics outside the courtroom. Look, I'm sorry. Let me read them right. If you ain't catch me with the Nina, I ain't guilty. That's why I hired Tucapina. You know what? You're sounding real crazy right now. I mean, I understand what you're saying and everything like that, but just remember, little Kim is facing some jail time. And just remember, you are a hip hopper, not just a black person, but you're a hip hopper. That's public enemy number one, according to these people out here who know no better, Foxy. I'm not saying you're a public enemy. I'm saying you represent something that at this point is giving the justice system reason to raise an eyebrow. Ugh, I don't like it. 215-483-4986. I don't like it. And if she's guilty, then why should she plead? If she's innocent, then why should she plead guilty? I don't know. something about the whole Negro ensemble going to court, though. You know what I'm saying? Chanel. I was in Chanel from head to toe, honey. They drove me up in my, no, not least, my silver Bentley. Oh, so what? I owe back taxes. And can't nobody find a Starbucks, no place that I own in Brooklyn, even though that's what I say. And what? Jackie O, what? Fish tried to take me down. And what? I don't know, Foxy. I'm not liking you right now or this entire situation. By the way, I will co-sign with Foxy. I haven't talked to her. And with an attitude like this, I probably never will anytime soon. But I will say this, Foxy. I'm waiting for your retort to Jackie O. Because that was talentless. Just calling it the way I see it. I didn't hear anything impressive in what Jackie O had to say. Except why'd your man stand there and let you get your behind whooped? Because I was just kind of wondering that myself. Like, do you know what I'm saying? If you're getting on a plane and going someplace, I'm sorry, unless he wasn't there. They pulled me up in style. I pulled up to court in style today. Did you see all my Chanel? Watch tonight on the UPN 9 News. All right. Well, who wants to hear about what all's going on with Rachel True from Half and Half? You know I love Rachel True. And you know I love the show Half and Half. And I would tell you, except I can't find it. It must have dropped on the floor under the seat of my Bentley. Let me just take a look. I ain't fall under there. Oh, here it is. In the dashboard. Under my Chanel bag. Nev Campbell, Kerry Russell, and Rachel True. The three actresses are like thick as thieves, peas in a pod. But Nev Campbell is speaking out saying that, well, she doesn't talk to her girls as much as she used to, and thus the relationships are now strained. Nev Campbell, the actress, is best friends with Felicity star Kerry Russell and, of course, Rachel True from Half and Half. And what she says is, and here's Nev Campbell's quote, Kerry, Rachel, and I have been best friends for 10 years, but a lot has changed. We still love each other to pieces, but our schedules never seem to blend, and we also have other people in our lives that take up time more now than we did when it was the three of us when we first met. The other people Nev is referring to is Kerry Russell has a fiance. Okay, so things like that happen. Do you feel me, Marsha? Yeah, when they met, it was 10 years ago. How old is everybody now? 27, 30? When they met, they were, like kids. So Nev, okay, Kerry's got a fiance who happens to be the guy Scott Speedman. And Rachel True has become, well, more at one with her blackness. I'm not saying that, look, I'm not saying anything. All I'm just trying to do is make a funny in between telling you a story. But she has. She's extremely close with Essence Atkins, Little Dee Dee, and Golden Brooks and Jill Marie Jones from Girlfriends. It says here. So now, one of these things, oh, you do the rest. And here's what Nev continues to say. It also doesn't help that I've been living in London. Well, yeah, Nev, you live across the pond. I'll call Kerry and Rachel to let them know I'm coming to L.A., but they'll already have plans, and they can only see me briefly because of other commitments. I've met the new people in their lives, and they're really nice people, but it's just sad how time and distance has changed so much. When I see Kerry Russell with Scott, her fiance, it's tough at times because I'm not used to Kerry having a boyfriend. In some cases, that translates as, I'm not used to Kerry being happy with a man because I'm used to us chiefing up and having our drinks and dissing men. Am I talking like Foxy Brown from the court case? Sorry. Let me fall back. And then concerning Rachel, she goes on to say, Rachel has invited me along with her new girlfriends. But for example, she in essence will talk about stuff that I wasn't there to see or whatever. So I feel like a third wheel. No, translation. It's the way in which Rachel and Essence, two sisters, are probably talking and, honey, ooh, child, and ooh, child, and ooh, child. And that feels like, well, Cindy, it happens. Doesn't mean everybody doesn't love each other. Nev Campbell says she's not bitter. In fact, she's busy promoting something called the Bill of Rights for people living with epilepsy. That's what she's doing. A whole campaign. She says, I definitely find a lot of misconceptions out there regarding epilepsy. Nev herself was diagnosed with epilepsy as a teen, and so she's out there speaking for. Well, Nev, that's great. You know what this is called, Nev Campbell? This is simply called moving on. Like, I'm a firm believer in this. Like, you go through different stations in your life. For whatever reason, you have different friends who can relate with you while you're going through your stations in life. And the common thread in your life are supposed to be your favorite cousins, maybe that one girlfriend that you've known since you were knee-high to a time. You only have one or two common threads in your life outside of your family. Your big sister, your little sister, because they're your longest running friends, your siblings. Maybe your cousins, and maybe you don't even get along with them. The common thread that runs through your whole life is supposed to be your family, the people that you grew up in the house with. Everybody else, to me, this is just one stupid woman from Ocean Township's opinion, but I find that this is run true for my life. Everything else outside of maybe that one best friend or that two best, everybody else is just, they serve their purpose and then they're out of your life. And you serve each other purpose. It's a mutual use, if you want to call it a use. And then you move on. Get over it. It happens with everybody. I know what you mean. Well, look, the fax machine is still open. It's 215 because I'm broadcasting from my Philadelphia radio station, Power 99. It's 215-483-4986. We're about to wrap up the show in our next break. I got to get all this stuff off my desk and get your comments, too. It's 215-483-4986. It's the Wendy Williams Experience. Thank you, everybody.
Wendy, man.
You had a caller call in once and ask, how do you not get crack lip when you chiefing?
Yes.
Tell them to roll a filter up in their stuff and they'll be all right.
Thank you.
You welcome.
I mean, they thank you.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
It's the Wendy Williams Experience, everybody. It's about time for me to cash out. But I've had fun. Thank you very much. Power 99, Philadelphia. Thank you very much. Philly Tri-State for being my host today. It was just such a beautiful day. I just got in the car and we continued driving. No more or no less to the story. You know what? Did I talk to you guys about Dr. Dre and the man that did all the punching? Okay, well, remember back during the Vibe Awards last year? Well, the man who was accused of punching Dr. Dre is standing trial on assault. Apparently, the judge made this ruling on Friday when he found sufficient evidence to try this 26-year-old man named Jimmy James Johnson. You think he's black? Jimmy James Johnson. Anyway, the man allegedly punched, this Jimmy James, punched Dr. Dre after Jimmy James Johnson asked for an autograph during the taping of the show on November 15th, and then the attack set off the Young Buck stabation and the brawl, and just a mess. Perhaps none of that would have happened if it wasn't for Jimmy James Johnson asking for an autograph while Dr. Dre, what was he, on his way to the stage? I mean, literally, when you're in the backstage holding area, wasn't Dre trying to pay attention to the monitors that he might be asked to read, or the notes that he had on some little piece of paper in his pocket to thank his mama and whatnot? But Jimmy James Johnson didn't really want an autograph. I'm sure he was a plant, to kick up dust backstage. Anyway. Shout out to TT who says, Wendy, call me trifling, but 20% of me is pumping my fist for Brad and that crazy Angelina Jolie. Didn't you think he was slumming it with Jennifer Aniston? I know it's wrong, but Jennifer has too many hang-ups. I'd get bored too. You know what? TT, to be honest with you, I never saw what he saw in Jennifer Aniston. Like, Brad Pitt apparently has been hot all of his life. Did you ever see him when he was dating Robin Gibbons back when she was on Head of the Class? I mean, he's been hot all of his life. Jennifer Aniston had to like hot up. And a lot of times when girls hot up, but they get with the guy who's been hot all of its life, it's a mismatch. I don't know. They just weren't an exciting couple to me. And her unwillingness to have children, I mean, they obviously were going through issues that they should have hashed out before the marriage, although she probably lied to him the way she lied to us, the public. I mean, not that we care and lose sleep over things like this, but don't you remember her saying, as soon as Friends is over, and there was an end of the road for Friends. As soon as Friends is over, we're going to, concentrate on, doing the baby thing and whatnot. So she relinquished, and he still wants kids. It's just terribly embarrassing the way it's going down. You know who I'm embarrassed for the most? Him, because he done lost his mind. Angelina Jolie is the Mac. He done lost his mind. And Jennifer Aniston is, you can't help but compare she and Angelina Jolie. She's a wilted flower, a plain Jane has-been roadkill. Like if you compare the two looks and mystiques and stuff. And he had her screaming like a tribal animal, which, by the way, hey, 50% of that might have been him doing work over there in Africa. The other 50% was her trying to get us to talk about it. Why not? I'm going to scream like a wild banshee. Police, security is going to be called, and it's going to be all over the National Enquirer. So it gets back to Jennifer Aniston and the rest of Hollywood that we have crazy monkey sex, something that she can never get him to do. Let's move on. No, I did not see Paula Abdul on SNL. But Michelle did, and she says, Wendy, they really emphasized Corey Clark's true ignorance. He was on Geraldo Rivera's show on CNN or MSNBC on Saturday night, and he sounds extremely ignorant. I was so embarrassed for him because he wasn't capable of articulating his answers. He only agreed to do a polygraph test if Paula would be there at the same time to answer the questions as well. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think that he's got a story here. But he is so unpolished in his delivery. So unpolished. You don't understand how much time I spent talking to this boy. I walked him out to the elevator telling him, look, boy, pull your free book off the website. He was selling, his little story for $14.99 on his website, CoreyClark.com. Pull it off the website. Get a real book deal. Throw in some more intimate details about your situation with Paula. And write you a book, The Thickness of TV Guide. Get your book advance money and get off your parents' he's like, huh? Really? Gee, do you think? I'm like, oh, crap. I'm dealing with a real dodo here. He's got a real story, but nobody, and his management was just as dippy as he was. Manager's sitting there like, huh? Gee, do you think? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, the Hilton mother was supposed to be doing a show, Kathy Hilton. It's coming to fruition on MTV. It's going to be called Score. Excuse me, no, that's the one with Joe Simpson, Jessica Simpson's father, Score, where he's going to be seeing which wannabe musician. Something about writing and performing an original song, yada, yada, yada. Ryan Cabrera, that's Ashley Simpson, the ugly Simpson. That's her ex-boyfriend. Anyway, he's a part of it, too. But the one about I Want to Be a Hilton, it's kind of like The Apprentice. Kathy Hilton, the Hilton sisters' mother, is going to be on this one. It starts on June 25th on NBC. So this is your summer watching. And then, of course, Being Bobby Brown. Oh, yeah. June 30th on Bravo. George Lopez and his wife are recuperating. He gave her a kidney. Would you do that for your husband? Just asking. You don't need to answer now. Think about it. Melania Trump, everybody, is going to be co-starring in the Aflac, the insurance commercials. Have you seen them? They apparently started running on May 2nd. Jeez Louise. The Aflac Health Insurance, Melania Trump, Donald's husband. wife. Whatever. People look at her like they look at Eddie Murphy's wife, right? Like the same sort of features. Same sort of... Do you know Eddie Murphy's wife, the lady with the short hair? And Melania Trump. They kind of have the same aura going around with them. Oh, hell, let me move on. By the way, Nikki Hilton turned down Paris, which is why she had to go for Kimberly Stewart. Nikki Hilton still doesn't want to be a part of this, that reality show, Making of the Hiltons or whatever the hell. And Ving Rhames, my honey, whose show Kojak is... How's that doing? I haven't watched it once. See, I say my honey because I do believe in him, but I'm not watching... What? Like, I'm not interested. Anyway, he and Ja Rule are going to put their own spin on a Back in the Day classic. Remember a drama called Back in the Day? Okay. Well, I don't either. But it's coming in stores on DVD on May 24th with Pam Grier and Tatiana Ali and Debbie Morgan and Joe Morton. And good for Ja Rule. Hey, Mrs. Rule. Hey, Ving Rhames. How you doing? All right. Well, I love you all for listening today. I'll be back tomorrow in my usual perch. We can do it all over again if you decide to come back. If not, I had you, if only for a moment. Alas. All right, you all. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Peace party people. See you later.
Good night. Program complete.